From the Four Seasons Curling Club in Blaine, Minnesota, it's the U.S. Open of Curling. This is the play-in tiebreaker match. I'm joined, again, Sean Murray here, joined by the ever-capable Evan Jensen on the mic.
Good evening, Sean.
Good evening, Evan. And in our matchup tonight, this is the match between the third-place team in Pool B, which is Todd Burr, versus the fourth-place team in Pool A, Dominic Markey. These two teams are playing for that final sixth playoff spot. The other playoff teams have all been determined. You've got Mike McCarville coming out of Pool A, and the Korean team under Kim in Pool B. Those two teams won their respective pools and have byes to the semifinals. Winner of this game will take on the Ruinen team in a quarterfinal tomorrow morning at 8. The other quarterfinal is Sean Baton versus Scott Dunham. Semifinals tomorrow at 11, and the final will be at 2 o'clock. Team Markey playing the Yellowstones has the hammer. Burr playing red. Is the only game on the ice.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet out there.
Yeah, can't really hear much. Tom O'Connor trying to play the come around, come down to it, gets down to it, taps it a little bit.
So you got Sean Banyai here with the second stones. Or sorry, lead stones. Right? Yeah.
That's right.
Lead stones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a change from earlier. I know we watched them earlier. He was playing second.
Nice little tap there.
Pretty good shot. Team Burr second is Hunter Clausen. Originally out of the same club I started playing at, Potomac Curling Club in Washington, D.C. Hunter now makes his home out this way.
Kind of found his way onto this team playing as their fifth player a year or so ago.
Yeah, they found themselves in need of a player for the trials, and Hunter was available. Took up that offer pretty quickly. Can't say I blame him.
Nope.
That stone ends up coming up a little bit short of the freeze, just in the top 8 foot. Markey sitting one with the hammer, back 4 foot and all in the middle. He looked at the peel. Instead calling for the corner freeze on the top 8 stone. This is Matt Wickland throwing the second stones now.
Sweeper's backing off a little bit here.
Calling out that it's got plenty of weight.
Looks like it's going to get around that red one, come down onto the yellow one.
Calling to get it around.
Oh, just a little tick there.
A little bit of sweeping would have had that by and probably frozen to their own.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Todd's calling for a hack weight hit here.
Get to all you can Try to chip the back 4 stone too, I would think. The guard. Now they got to get by the stone in the house. Looks like a pretty good shot.
Yeah, just to the nose, a little on the inside.
Ooh, actually got a little bit inside. What a great shot. Looks like Burr has probably shot stone now. Looks to me like they are.
And about half buried.
Now looking at peeling the guard, I like this. Thing's not setting up particularly good for Dominic. He has the hammer. Doesn't want to have a mess in the middle looking at him.
Good peel here.
No mistake. Let's see how Todd elects to play this. Probably is going to be content to throw a guard of some sort.
Oh, opting for a little bit of a tap back here, possibly.
Yeah, looks like they're going to play the tap freeze. Bump that stone that's already in there a little bit forward. I guess he figures that it's tough to guard. He's got 2 of his own up front. You can't guard both of them.
Looks a bit light. And a little over curl here. Dominic looking for another peel here.
Big weight coming down from Steven.
Get the run.
Don't really think Steven wanted to do that. Kind of leaves the guard up there. Leaves that burst stone probably half covered.
Looks like they're going for a little tap here. Weight looks really nice.
Nicely done. Doesn't quite tap it frozen, but it's still in a pretty good spot.
Dominic looking at the nose hit.
Pretty tight, but you could get through there. Question is, do you catch their own that's in the back 4?
I think they're close enough that you're almost guaranteed that you're going to catch it. But we'll see here.
Man, definitely need to make something happen here. This is much too closed down for Dominic's liking.
hanging
close.
out.
Oh, wow. I guarantee you that is not what they had drawn up, but
No.
what a result.
Oh,
Actually makes the triple.
yeah, catching that on the outside a little bit wasn't,
Bonus.
give you a better angle.
No kidding.
And still buried.
And still buried, I mean, behind the tee line, but man, oh man, is it way better than it was before. Is there such thing as an accidental triple?
There is now.
There is now.
So I think Todd's going to go for the freeze again here.
Yep. But despite that great shot, Todd's still in a really good position to steal or at worst force one. Well executed freeze here will close the scoring area down to very little.
Line looking pretty close here. Sweepers are on it.
This is checking up a long way short.
Just top 12.
Does just grab a piece of the rings, but really coming up a long way short. Dominic now with a good opportunity to sink another one.
It's got quite a bit of room here on the right.
It's running like it's maybe a little bit heavy.
Gonna get back to their yellow one.
Yeah, it's all the way down. That's not where he wanted it.
Leaves room for Todd to freeze down to it for shot.
So last shot for Todd Bird. Big shot here. Really wants to make this. Have to make sure you're by. Line's pretty good.
Line's really good. Coming down.
It's actually over curling a bit.
Yeah.
Settles into a really nice spot.
Right on the pin. It's going to be tough for Dominic to get that one out.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he does get it out.
Short of maybe doing some sort of a double run back here. But
is it worth it though?
yeah.
I don't know the way it's lined up. I don't know that you can make it much worse. I mean, the only way to make it worse is if you like give up two somehow. I don't think there's any way you score just playing a draw.
No. Looks like there's about 1.5 feet between those two guards there.
He's trying to get by that guard as tight as he possibly can. Try to at least just push it off the button. Really tough shot.
You don't have to move it too far, though.
He's actually, oh, he carved it into the guard. Oh.
Ouch.
Jeez, Sean needed to be sweeping that one some to hold the line, but that's going to go in the books as a steal of one. Todd Burr's going to take the first blood of this game. Markey will keep the hammer going into the second end. We'll have that for you right after this. Oh, nice. So back to it for the second end. Burr with the 1 point lead. Puts his first stone in. It goes a little bit deep. So that's going to allow Dominic to have his lead put up a corner guard. Sean Bonnier. I really hope I pronounced that right. Don't want to have this slip into the rings.
I think it's going to. Yep.
Oh yeah, that just comes
quarter rock.
Yeah, just comes in. Todd can hit that. That's what he's going to have Tom O'Connor do. Makes the hit, long roll over to the side. Good shot. So now Dominic wants to throw up a corner guard sort of in between those reds to where it would be difficult to peel in either direction. Sean will want to pull the weight back a little bit from his last one.
Weight looking better at this one.
So tomorrow it's playoff Sunday here at the U.S. Open. Our first feature matchup, bright and early at 8 a.m. Central, will be the quarterfinal between Sean Baton and Scott Dunham. Then at 11 Central, we're going to feature the semifinal between the Korean team Kim. They'll take on the winner of the quarterfinal between Team Ruonen and the winner of this game. And then we'll have the final at 2 o'clock Central.
Todd looking to draw around this corner guard here.
Hunter's get in there pretty nicely, the top of the 8-foot. Bit of an unusual setup for Todd to be drawing under a corner without the hammer, but doesn't really want to guard something behind the tee line either.
Kind of left Dominic with a chance for a double here, but would most likely leave Dominic sitting somewhat open.
This is Eric Quistgaard with his first shot of the end.
No, Wickland.
I'm sorry, Wickland. Jeez. Man, oh man, I cannot keep my name straight.
Oh, gonna hit the inside one
Might get the
first.
side one too.
Oh, wow.
Almost a triple. A triple it is. What a shot.
Whew.
Wow. Talk about clearing the deck for your team. Just like that. Markey's sitting one and has a corner guard up there. Looking for the little roll. Don't think they're going to get it. As everybody's buddy Tuck might say, coffee but no roll.
Little wobble there.
Going for sweeping right out of his hand. Really got to go to hold this.
They're going to catch a good half of the rock.
Yeah, they're going to roll way out, and Thomas just going to get it away from that guard. So in terms of the prize money available to all these teams, these two teams are playing just to get into the money. If you make it to the quarters, which these teams are trying to do, and end up losing that game, you still walk away with $1,500 for the team. Make it to the semis and don't advance any further, it goes up to $2,500. If you make it to the final and lose that, that's $3,500, and the champion team from this event will walk away with a cool $4,500.
Not bad.
It's not a bad amount of money for a weekend's work.
Steven looking to draw around this guard here. Sweepers are saying it's a little heavy.
Looks like it has plenty of pace to my eyes. This needs to put on some brakes.
It's going to sit back house.
It will just hang on in the back. As inconsequential as a back 12 stone might be, that could still potentially go on the board. Markey with hammer. Todd has to follow it. Sweeper's not showing any interest in this one either. This needs to curl up to get to the back one.
This one could go right by, and it
Oh,
does.
man. Oh, that's a bad miss. Really couldn't afford to do that, even if it's open anywhere short. Dominic has to deal with it. Steven going to be looking to put another one around that guard. They got to go for weight.
Looks like it's going to make about top 8 foot here. Just barely.
Very well swept. It just does get to the top 8 foot. Maybe 2/3 buried. Still a good shot. Todd now looking over his options. Looking at 2 marquee stones, and he does not have the hammer. He's electing to play the freeze down to that back one.
Sweepers are on it a little early. Line looks close.
Trick is to get this hidden somewhere, even if it's a little deep. Settles in there for shot, but Dominic can definitely see this and hit it.
A lot of room to get that out towards the left there.
Yeah, the ideal shot is just to hit it with, I'd say, just board weight. Maybe half a rock, kind of roll over to the right as we're looking at it, and make Todd look at 3 and put some pressure. Todd had perfect line for the freeze, assuming the freeze was the call.
Close.
Got a pretty good looking shot here, I think. Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Can't do any better than that at all. See what Todd does. He has no choice but to play the same shot again.
I think you're right.
This time, at least if he gets down to it, the worst he gives up is 2. It's problematic to even play a hit on that stone that Dominic just threw because there's a red right behind it that it might jam on. I think Todd's going to play the same shot he just did. Wants to try and, this time it's all about damage control. He wants to try and get down to that back one. He knows he won't be shot, but he'll be counting out 2 marquee counters, and then
most he'd give up is 2.
Most he gives up is 2. Big early shot for Todd Burr. Needs to make this to avoid giving up the potentially big end.
It's got a lot of room here.
Supers are saying they'd like to go for weight. Line seems like it's pretty good for the freeze. Actually, it needs to curl a bit. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Bounces off, and now Markey with a free draw for 4. Man, that one just wasn't quite read correctly. I heard, I think it was Hunter say that they had to go for weight. It turns out they didn't need to go for weight.
No.
That had plenty of pace. Huge, huge early opportunity for Team Markey. Just find the rings. Nice thing about this is you've got all kinds of backing to come to.
Oh, yeah.
Come to the red. You probably don't want to come to your own. You might bump yourself out.
Sweepers are backing off a little bit here.
Definitely not. Uh-oh. Watch out. Might go through the hole. Oh, he uses the backing. And it will be good enough for a big 4 points. Markey takes a big lead. 4-1 after 2 ends. Burr will get the hammer back, and we'll need to get some offense going. And we'll have that for you right after this. So with the 3-point lead, Markey's going to put his first stone in the house. Just gets to the top of the 12-foot. Team Burr finding themselves a little bit behind the 8 ball here, down 3. Plenty of game left, though. They do what they need to do to get 2 here. They'll be fine. Sweepers are really not interested in this. You really don't want to throw this in the rings.
Looks like it's going to come up.
It's close. I don't know.
No, that's going to sneak in, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
An unfortunate start here for Burr here in the 3rd end.
Yeah. Tom's not going to be happy with himself over that one. Looking to roll in. Nicely done.
Burr looking at another corner here.
Tom looking for a little bit of redemption for his first one.
This one looks a little better. Sweepers are calling back house weight. Looking for a little tap here.
doesn't tap it straight, but still pretty good result on that.
Yeah, keeping good separation between all the rocks.
Yeah, everything's pretty separated. We'll see how Todd wants to deal with this. He wants to make use of that corner guard because it can be peeled on the next stone if Team Markey should decide to do so. Only problem is with any kind of hit and roll, even if that's made, it's not even going to be second shot.
Makes a nice freeze there on the left. Didn't curl as much as they were hoping, I think, but still frozen.
It's in there for second shot, and not the easiest stone in the world to remove. You have to get right to the nose to kill it.
It'll be Wickland's second shot here. This one hanging out a hair.
I don't know if he's going to get enough to remove it, though. Nope.
Nope.
Just dead stuffs it there. Loses his own shot stone, loses the shooter. Burr now sitting one. Thinking about what to do now.
He could draw behind. Yeah, I kind of thought he might look at that again, the hit and roll under the corner.
You could. I mean,
but it doesn't really give you a second shot, though.
It will not give him second shot. Certainly not. The only way to get second shot is he'd have to roll back towards the center.
Yep.
He's not concerned about sitting two yet. It's pretty early yet in the end. He really wants to get two established in the rings and worry about sitting two when it really counts with his hammer.
This one looking all right. I don't think it's going to curl as much as they want it to.
Right to the nose, it looks like. A little roll. Oh, just right to the nose. Settles there for third count. Trying to roll in here. Looks like just a lot of nose. Sits right there. Sitting two.
Todd looking for a control hit here.
Pretty sure he'd like Greg to just nose this.
I think you're right.
He'll only be sitting one, but his thought process is that it'll work its way up, and it might leave a double later. This is really moving, though.
Gonna catch just a piece. How far is it gonna roll?
Stay.
It's gonna roll all the way out. Leaves Dominic a hit to sit two again.
Yeah, I think he'll just be content with a nose hit on this one.
Yeah, no need to roll here. Looks pretty close. We'll roll to the outside, but that's all right.
I don't know. I'm not sure Steven really wanted to roll there. That's as high as that is. That could potentially act as another guard. I mean, it's barely even in the rings. thought Todd might do this. He's now actually going to go behind that. He's got room to establish shot stone. Could come down to that back one if it comes to it.
Hanging out a little bit. Here it goes. Weight looks really nice.
That's a pretty good shot. Just back a tee line, probably about half buried, maybe a little more. Dominic's going to throw about hack, hit what he can see. He'd love to just roll to the back of the 4-foot wide open. Make Todd debate, does he play a hit and roll or a freeze?
This one looking pretty tight. Will he get by that top yellow?
I think they are. Oh, just barely.
Nice shot. Oh, get the roll.
Oh, that's absolutely perfect.
That's okay.
That is absolutely perfect. That's some really good sweeping there by Steven and Sean. Todd not left with a lot to work with here. He's going to try to freeze. This is running like it's heavy.
I'll get a little tap here.
Oh, that's
A bit much.
heavy. Yeah.
Leaves room to hit and be sitting 4.
Dominic so far has been deadly with his quiet weight hits. Made an absolute peach last end to sit 3. Made a really, really good one there.
This one he's looking to roll to the inside just a hair.
Oh, yeah.
Try to get under that top yellow one.
Shrink the scoring area to not much.
Basically leave Todd Burr with a freeze for 1. Sweepers on it right away.
Both sweepers on the same side. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
Boy, what a... My goodness, Dominic must have been a long ways inside on that one.
Todd getting a draw for 2.
Out of nothing. Out of absolutely nothing. Just needs to be full 8 foot. Dominic can blame me for that jinx. I say it all the time. I talk about how he's been just deadly with his downweight hits, and then what happens there? You know, thump. Sorry, Dominic.
I'm sure he'll come after you.
I'm sure he will. It's okay. So just looking for full 8 foot to pick up a 2 that came from nothing, really.
Sweepers are dragging it. Need to get 8 foot.
They seem pretty happy with it.
There they go. Nice draw by Todd Burr.
No mistake, picks up his 2. Closes the gap to 4-3. Going to hand the hammer back to Markey with a 1-point lead. We'll see how the 4th end shakes out when we come back to you right after this. Back now with the start of the 4th end. Dominic Markey up 4-3 on Todd Burr, having the hammer. Burr first to act is going to want to throw some guards. Not surprisingly, Dominic wants nothing to do with that center action. He's going to have Sean Bonnier throw a corner guard.
Not looking too happy right out of the gate there.
Sweepers immediately said it was heavy. Coming into the house isn't the worst shot ever.
We're looking to be about back 8 foot, back 12.
Although the call was the corner, that's really not a bad shot back there. It's in a harmless spot. Todd's going to ignore it. So as it happens, not the called shot, but still a pretty good shot, actually. Now you know Tom's getting serious. The jacket is off.
That's right. This one hanging out a little bit.
Todd was just calling for a tight guard. This is actually going to slip in.
Dominic looking for the hit here.
I don't know that he's concerned about flipping under the guard. I don't think I would be. I'd like to just nose this.
Nose or even a little roll out wouldn't be bad.
Yep.
Keep a good separation between this one and the rock in the back 12 on the left. That's what he's going to get. Just a little bit of roll out.
Nice shot. Todd Burr, one of a handful of teams that uses a numbering system for their hit weights. Use a 1, 2, 3 system. 1 is what Hunter's been asked to throw here. It's kind of like a board weight. 2 is what most of us would call, say, almost normal, heavy control of normal. 3 would be more like a firm. And then, of course, you have peel.
This one curling up quite a bit. Gets the hit, gonna roll over to the left. Not in an ideal spot.
It's in a spot where Dominic has to hit it, but
Just another light, down weight hit, roll out a little bit.
yeah, we'll see if this stays in the rings. If Todd feels he has to hit it, he's probably going to have to, be my guess. A little overly aggressive to leave 2 enemy rocks in the rings. When you don't have the hammer, you're only down 1.
This one gonna roll a little more than they wanted.
Roll right out of play. Wouldn't surprise me if you see Todd play the come around now.
Yeah, with only that one in the back, he's not too worried about that.
Yeah.
Wants to get top 8 foot, top 4 foot. Hunter's second shot. Looks like a touch heavy.
Come out the other side a little bit. Settles just back 4 foot. Does over curl the guard a bit.
Dominic calling for about a hack weight hit.
Probably prefer not to leave it right behind that guard. Rolling a bit away would be nice.
This one needs to curl up a bit.
This has to move just to make contact.
Looks like they're going to catch a piece. They do.
Just barely enough to get it out of play. Now Greg Johnson's turn to make this out-turn draw.
Weight looking a little better here.
Line. Don't want to sweep it out from behind the guard. Pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
Dead under the guard, just top 4 foot. Steven, just looking for back line. You're not necessarily trying to remove this rock. You just want to punch it out in the open. Leave your shooter in the rings. You have to make sure you make contact with something, though. Steven might have upped the weight on this. You don't want to breeze by everything. Uh-oh.
Oh, they're not going to make contact at all.
Ooh. You have to move something. Even if you're tight and you click the guard, there's nothing wrong with that at all, but
nope.
you can't breeze by everything. I'm sure Steven knows it. So now Greg's going to look to replicate his first shot. Try to come right down on his one that he's already put there.
This one again hanging out a little bit.
The sweepers were calling out 9 out of hand, which is back 8 foot. They do well to go around this. This is really cruising though. This might go through too. Oh my.
Hang around just a bit.
Oh, far back enough. It doesn't really matter back
No.
there.
Third shot.
It's pretty big that it didn't even stay in for second. It means that yellow that's been sitting back there all by itself in the corner is still potentially on the board as a second point if some shots get made here. Steven with another chance at this backline tap.
Sweepers are on it.
Looking much, much better this time. Makes the tap. Loses the one. Doesn't quite. That's about as perfect as you could possibly make that shot. I mean, come on.
Keeps the shooter around.
Keeps the shooter for third. But I think the most impressive aspect of that shot is that he punched that rock actually dead behind their shot rock on the left, making that stone very tough to remove. So it may not look like much, but that was an excellent shot. Now Todd has to be a little concerned because, again, he doesn't have the hammer. Markey's got 2 stones in there.
Hunter looking at possibly hitting that back one or freezing down to it.
I think he's looking at the freeze. That's my book. That's a little bit dangerous. But again, I'm up here, they're down there. Todd's going to stick with the out-turn draw. Figuring he's late enough in the end that he's fairly committed to keeping it in the center.
It's got room around the guard.
It's actually by the guard almost too tight. This might over curl. Come out the other side. And that it does. Dominic can throw back line to hack at this. Hit what he sees. He can sit 2 out of this. Trick is going to be making sure it doesn't jam on that yellow that's way over on the right there, but he'd have to hit it fairly thin to do that.
He can probably see almost half of that.
Pretty close. Definitely see at least a third.
And that guard is less than halfway between the hog line and the house. So a lot of room to get around it. It's a great shot.
Does he have enough to get it out? Yes, he does. It's pretty tough to do much better than that. Now I think Todd has to size up the double, perhaps. I think that guard is long enough that even if you sink a really good one, we saw Steven make a really good shot bumping out a stone that was pretty much dead buried.
Yep. Even this last one, if they needed to get around it,
Yep.
get over more, they had room to do so.
It's a little bit tricky because the nose double is the simplest shot, but there you have to worry about the stone you're hitting bouncing off the yellow and maybe going over and catching the other one. The red back there that's currently third, you don't want to do that. And I don't think you can make it the other way because the second stone would simply jam on the red behind it. Assuming Todd's just playing the straight back.
You don't have to hit that second one much. So you can hit it pretty thin, just poke it out.
Yeah, just catch a little piece of it, slide the one you're hitting between the two reds back there.
It's close. It's got to curl a little bit yet.
It's really, really close.
Oh.
I think you might have it.
Caught too much.
They actually...
I don't know why they weren't sweeping that. Oh.
I have to admit, Evan, I'm a little puzzled there. I thought they were trying to nose double.
Yeah.
And they had it, and I'm not really sure what happened on that one. But as it stands, it stuffs on the back one and leaves Markey sitting shot, so now he's got to draw to the full 8-foot to pick up 2. Pretty good idea to check. Make sure you're actually shot before you throw your draw for 2.
Definitely been in that situation before.
Right? You'd hate to throw it. It's like, oh, yay. And it's like 1. Oh. I guess we didn't look that closely.
Oh.
Well, they must think it's heavy if they were calling the sweep. Oh, this is blazing hot. Oh, my goodness.
Just going to take 1 here.
Yeah, just an overthrow, so a couple of ugly shots to end that end. Markey's going to settle for 1, but he'll maintain a 2-point lead over Burr, 5-3. Heading into the 5th end, Burr will get the hammer back down 2, and I'll see if they can generate a 2 of their own to tie the game. You'll see that when we see it right after this. Markey picks up 1 in the 4th, has a 5-3 lead. Burr with hammer playing red, looking to get 2 and tie this game up, and they're going to start that by having Tom O'Connor throw the corner guard. First Markey stone drops nicely into the top of the 8-foot.
We're up to 58 viewers.
Very nice.
Thank you all for joining us.
Glad to have you all with us. Hope you're enjoying watching the game as much as we're enjoying broadcasting it. Trying to sound semi-intelligent. I hope we're kind of succeeding. Tom nicely makes the corner guard. Sean Bonnier with his second. Imagining he's trying to come down to his own.
Looking for a tight guard here, I think.
Tight guard's a good call, too.
Looks like it might over curl a hair.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, there. Just a bit, but that's all right.
It just keeps on sliding. Still a pretty good shot. Time to go to north of those center rocks and have Tom try to come around that corner guard.
Looks like a pretty good spot.
Yeah, Hunter gets on it and absolutely sinks that perfect come around. Tom can say he's done his job this end. Don't blame the lead. Not this time, anyways.
No. Wickland looking to freeze up to their own. Sweepers are backing off a bit. That one's...
This has a lot of moving to do.
Yeah, it is out there. They might just end up ticking their own. I'm going to push it back just a bit.
Not sure if I like that or not. I don't.
Todd just hits and rolls and freezes on that front one there.
Not a bad shot, to be honest.
Ends up really good, actually.
Can't really deal with either one of those reds.
So I think Markey's looking at just tapping it a bit.
Yeah, I think he wants to probably come down and sort of tap it on the nose, get his own yellow out of the way, leave himself frozen there.
This one's curling quite a bit.
I really got to go to get by.
Oh!
Just by.
Also not a bad spot.
I think he would have liked to have moved his own a little bit more, though. It's still kind of in the way of that red.
That red's still lined up to just hit into that yellow if they wanted. Though it looks like Todd's going to just get rid of the guard. Hunter coming down with weight. Smokes the... Ooh.
Wow.
That's one way to do it.
Called cleaning up a mess. Works nicely to roll to another guard protecting that side stone.
Yeah, Markey left to look at a draw onto the guard or possibly running the guards back into it, into the other red one. Opting for the draw under. And there's room to draw under, so it's not a bad call.
Yeah, I think the positioning of this is really critical. You need to sort of set up right next to that red. You don't want to go deeper than that.
Nope.
Because if you ever leave Todd a thin double, he could sit too buried.
This one's got a lot of room yet.
I think you'd rather be kind of deep on this one.
Todd looking at coming down to that back one. Gonna try to tap it out.
Pretty sure he'd like to bump that out.
This one's curling quite a bit.
This is close to wrecking.
Oh, they're by.
Oh, they're just by.
Oh, we're gonna get a little roll out too. Great shot. Does leave some room to freeze to it though.
It is a pretty good shot, but the only danger sign about it is that it now leaves Markey another freeze. And if this freeze is successfully made, it's really going to count the end down. I don't know that I really liked rolling under the corner there, Evan. It just gives Markey an out to count out both burst stones.
For Todd's to roll under?
Yes.
Yeah. It didn't really roll enough to not allow Markey to get under there.
This is over curling by a lot. Wow.
Comes up a bit short and leaves Todd still sitting second shot.
It's a tricky spot. It's third shot, like certainly. Todd could certainly hit first shot, but he's got to roll somewhere to be sitting two. You have to roll fairly sharp to be sitting two. Greg's going to come down and talk about it. I wonder if you throwed smoke and tried to play it as though you were trying to play a double, where would that yellow go when you hit it? I'm concerned it might go back onto the back red.
Yeah, if you play the double off of the yellow at the center.
Yeah, if you hit the shot rock and fly over, and I don't think it would really be smart to try it. You could just roll kind of next to it.
Yep.
Kind of just clunk up against it. That would probably be the best shot. Very protracted discussion.
Still looks like they're going to do the hit and roll. I'm just not sure where they're going to roll to or what they're hoping to do.
Well, I think they're going to try and kind of come up next to that yellow and just sort of sit next to it. Not trying to kill it. I don't think you can anyways. Just roll and bump up next to it. And that way they'll be sitting two, mostly buried. Oh, this is just really taking off. Don't know if it's going to roll very far.
They're going to sweep for the roll. What?
Oh, so close. Oh. I don't think they're second, though. It looks to me like Markey is still second shot.
Covers their shot stone pretty well, though. Makes a tougher shot for Markey to get down to it. But it looks like that's what he's going to go for here.
Yeah, it kind of lets Markey off the hook a little bit. He can throw this knowing that he is quite safely second shot. I mean, it does serve to protect the Burr shot stone, but it also protects Markey's own second shot pretty well.
Correct.
So he can throw basically T-line weight, skate by that cluster. Don't necessarily need to fully hide yourself. You're probably not going to be able to anyways. Just tuck a third to a half, and that red back there will be in the way.
Ooh.
What happened with this?
I'm not sure. Coming up short and just catching the guard there. Way short.
That is a long, long way short. Acting like maybe it picked on something. So Todd looking at where to put this. Well, it kind of depends on if you want to guarantee yourself a 2 or if you want to try to go for 3. I think if you're going to try to go for 3, the shot is to try what Dominic just did. Try and come around that cluster.
I think you're right.
Get it hidden as much as you can, knowing that if you ever tick something, you might set up a double for Dominic to get out of the end. The safer shot that practically guarantees 2 would be to just draw the open side of the 8-foot, same depth as the other one. Oh.
What was that they looked at?
That's a very creative shot. I would need Tom, if he would be so nice, to step aside for a second just so I can see the lineup. But I think Todd was talking about maybe playing a light hit on that guard situation, pumping another red in, and that would scatter the guards and potentially expose that lone Markey rock in there for a possible big end. That seems a very ambitious call. Hard to tell exactly what Todd's decided on here.
He's looking to the right.
Yeah, that's... I wonder if he's trying to just come down and tap as much of that red third shot as he can just to try and dislodge that yellow a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's stuck on that far right red one any longer.
It's kind of up against it, but the way it is that it's sort of lined up to maybe go onto the back one.
Yep.
If he just taps it just a hair, frees it up, it could then potentially fly free on Todd's last if he gets a pass at it.
It's close, I think. It's hanging out there a bit.
It's trying.
There it goes. Are they by?
Oh, just ticked. Oh, man. oh, man. Just a little bit of sweeping. That shot was made.
Yep. I really wanted to see what that would do. Markey going for the same shot, trying to draw down back to that back red one.
It definitely would have freed up that yellow a little bit, pushed it to the side, and then Todd's shooter would have rolled way over to the trick would have been to not let it roll to a spot where it sets up a red double. But that's the past, and we must move forward. As Dominic's got the same shot that he tried on his first. Hoping not to have a pick or whatever it was on his first one.
Sweeper's going for line. Looks like it's got enough line here.
Line's pretty good if the
Oh,
weight's
it's going
good.
for weight. Oh, wow.
Well, it just gets in there for shot, but
I don't know if there's enough room to get it out for Burr.
I don't know if there is. You'd have to shave it between the red second shot and yellow third shot, and that's really tough to do. Unfortunately, I don't really see any kind of run back play available. Boy, this is a tough shot. Greg trying to look and see if there actually is space to safely clear that that Yellowstone rather, past their own second shot without ticking the yellow that's right next to it. I think there might just be enough space there.
You know, you could almost even just hit the yellow one really thin on the left side and just try to poke it into the other yellow one and then let it roll across the top of that red one. But
well,
again, tough.
Current certain areas, that would only be for one, even if you do make it. Because your shooter's going to roll. That yellow's not going to go very far.
It should roll back and around, though, I think. But, oh well. They're just going to try to poke it out to the side. Sweepers are on it. It's looking close.
Todd might have a peach here. Saves the back one. Oh, he does contact his own, but I think he might have saved it for two. Really close.
They're looking at it. They might be tapping for the red one. It might be three.
I don't think it's
Oh,
three.
no, they pulled it out. Okay.
One for sure.
Oh, it's between those two.
Yeah. Because they actually chipped that red just a little bit on the way by. We know Burr scored at least one. Question is it two or not?
Greg says one.
Looks like just one to me. Yeah, they moved it a bit. I thought it might have only been one. Give them a second to hang it and see if we're correct. Yeah, it's only one. So Markey holds Burr to the single with the hammer. Is going to have a 5-4 lead, and he'll get the hammer back himself at the start of the sixth end, and we'll have that for you right after this. Start of the 6th then. Burr finds himself down 1 without the hammer. Gonna want to go aggressive here. Throws the center guard. Sweeper's not showing any interest in this. This has plenty of weight. Needs to grow teeth, and it's not going to grow that many teeth. Right through the rings. I'm going to break out Snaker's favorite description of stuff. That was suboptimal.
That it was.
Looking for the second center. Pretty well positioned by Tom. Solid as ever. Sean looking to make up for his first. Set this one behind the guards in a good spot.
Markey looking to peel here now.
Yeah, now that the free guard zone is off, he definitely wants to get the middle opened up. These are lined up in a way that if hit absolutely perfect, you could potentially get all 3 of the Reds moving. I think maybe he only has the top one. Yep. Yeah, Todd wants to play this. He's not shot. His stone that's in the house is not behind the center, but I think he's got to keep guarding this for a couple of shots yet. This just a couple feet over the hog line if we can. Pretty well positioned. See how Dominic wants to play this. He's going to go for the stone in the house. Little bit of a gamble. You could very definitely make the case for taking off one of those guards still.
Yeah. But he's got room to come around and get enough of that red one and roll under. But
yeah, he does, but the concern is that his stone in the house is just behind the button.
Yep.
And even if this is made, I think Todd's going to have room to play a freeze down to it.
Oh, this one's going to roll too much.
Roll way out from behind the guard. See, it's a nice looking shot, but
Yeah.
Todd's got that freeze on the out turn if he wants it. He could also play a tap on the stone just thrown. So Hackwaite going to try to get to the nose of the stone that was just thrown. Tap it into the other yellow. Try to leave them both there as backers. I'm looking real good on this.
Just a back house tab. Doesn't catch the other one, but still in a good spot.
That's okay. That's in a really good spot. Dominic really can't do much with that. This is the danger of leaving those center guards up there, and Dominic probably realizes, maybe I should have peeled last time. Ooh, man.
It's a tough draw.
Draw isn't that tough. I'm just, oh boy.
Even now, I think still getting rid of one of the guards, at least one of the guards would be the option.
This could easily come back to bite Dominic if this isn't made really, really well. See what Stevens got here. One thing you cannot be on this is heavy.
Line's close, but it does look a hair heavy. That looks like backline weight.
Oh, man. Oh, Steven. Well, sitting 2, but that stone hanging on the back edge of the tee line. Todd's got to feel really good about this setup right now. He's got everything he could want. 2 centers. He's got a stone in a raised position. Top, just biting the top of the 8-foot. A stone that's, you know, I mean, it seems kind of good to have a stone basically in the button, but it's, as silly as it sounds, it's actually too early to have a stone there. You don't really. For the freeze.
So I'm looking a bit heavy, but
won't be bad if you tap it just a hair.
Back 8.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Definitely tough to get rid of that one now.
Yeah, sets up a wall, and now as the team with the hammer, there's a couple of things seriously working against Markey. One is the fact that he's got 3 of his own just behind the 4-foot, which is not what he wants at all, and those 2 center guards.
Looks like he's going to try to hit that one on the left, but
I think he's going to have Steven try and slash this and get rid of at least a couple of those reds.
That middle one might jam on that right red one, though.
It's not throwing no lack of weight on this.
Can't see a whole lot. Looks like he's going to hit enough of it. Whoa.
Wow, nice shot.
Wow.
Got everything flying.
It's always cool to see one going forward.
Yeah.
Great shot by Steven there.
Yeah, boy, that is some lively rock action right there. So Steven does the best he can with this situation. Clears all that out. Leaves his team sitting 3. The only concern is that it's a wall behind the 4-foot, and there's a nice pocket for Todd to come down and nestle into.
Yep.
One good shot will pretty much shut the end down for Team Markey.
Sweepers are calling it that it's close.
Line is pretty good for the freeze. You want to at least get to the face of the first one.
They're going to have to sweep it here at the end.
The line is absolutely perfect on this. Very nice shot from Todd. Very nice. There's not a whole lot Dominic can do with that except come down to it. Dominic's first shot, looking to just come down to this, tap it a little bit. He wants to guarantee that he scores.
Sweepers are staying off of it. No.
Can't afford to be heavy on this. Uh-oh.
Oh,
running,
boy.
running like it's got a lot of weight.
Hanging out there, too.
Oh, man. Oh.
Just going to sneak by.
Not to put too fine a point on it, that's a bad miss. Now, if Todd can just drop one right on top of his own, I'm not sure what Dominic's going to have to even cut the end down.
Yeah, there's nowhere for those to go if he gets another one down in there.
No, I don't see any way that red stone ever leaves the 4-foot now. There's just too much yellow behind it. Big shot for Todd, last stone of the 6th end. Line is the important thing on this. It's okay to be a little short.
Well, it's close. They got to go here at the end.
You want to drag it in for second, and it does get in there for second. Pretty good shot.
Still not much that Murky can do here.
I think his only option is to draw on the other side, try to get into the button to maybe score one. Definitely not a picnic of a shot, though. I think the pinhole is just barely available, so you could draw to that red without moving it and score, but you don't really want to throw any extra weight and ever chip off and roll out of the 4-foot and give up 2.
Yep.
So Dominic has to lay this down to his sweepers and let them position it where it needs to go. So tough shot facing Dominic Markey on his last one. Kind of set up by the fact that he chose to play around center guards rather than peeling them. He finds himself in a pickle now.
Line looking close.
Uh-oh.
It's going to tick and roll.
Oh. Jeez. And that's what I was afraid of. Threw a little too much weight. They had to sweep it. Bounces off. And that is a huge steal of 2. Todd Burr retakes the lead and is now up 6-5 as we go into the 7th end. We'll have that for you right after this. So now Markey finds himself down one with the hammer. It looks like he's electing to play the tick shot.
It's close. He's going to catch a piece of it.
Looks like he's got a pretty good shot, actually.
Great shot.
Well, that's every bit as good a tick shot as you'll see Lisa Weigel make. Very nice. Last number of years, the tick shot has become as vital a part of the Leeds arsenal as a guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like no elite level lead is complete without having that shot in their tool bag.
And now with the 5-rock guard, even the second has to throw it once in a while.
They could. I don't know that I've actually seen a second throw a tick, but I believe it.
No, I'm trying to think if I've seen one. I haven't watched a whole lot of elite play this year.
Sean Bonnier's going to try and make it 2 for 2. Dominic doesn't seem to like it very much. Trying. Get a little piece. Just kind of shaves it sideways, but gets a pretty good bonus out of it. Rubs and rolls and kind of corkscrews back, but kind of settles into the corner guard. So maybe didn't move it quite as far as Dominic wanted, but got a nice bonus out of it. Guarantee you Todd's entire thought process this end is around forcing Dominic to take one so that Todd has the hammer tied up in the last end.
Looks like Todd's going to try to draw around the center guard here.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways to do it. He feels like he's more likely to force mistakes out of the Markey team by playing around the center.
Weight's really nice. Is it going to curl under enough?
Gets probably about half buried, I'd say. Pretty good shot.
Yes. Matt Wickland with his first here. Looking to come around that guard, tap that red one.
Really tight to the guard. Oh,
they're by.
Just got by. They have enough to remove it. Not quite.
Still not a bad shot, though.
Oh, really good shot. Leaves them sitting.
Buried.
Leaves them. Todd Stone is still second back there. So he's just looking for the freeze. Todd definitely looking to force the action with rocks in play. I think he feels that his team's stone positioning has been definitely that last end was a little better than Team Markey's.
This one's got a little bit extra room here. Weight's close.
Well, it doesn't quite get to the freeze, but it's still in a pretty good spot.
Tough to get rid of.
You can hit and roll under the guard, maybe. Try and put a little bit of fear in Todd's heart, maybe looking at 3 enemy rocks in the rings. This is not looking like a good line.
Punch that red one back. Ugh.
Drive it into their own.
Markey's still sitting 1, but wide open there on the right side.
His own shot stone well exposed. Todd hits that, he'll be sitting 3. Matt maybe just a little bit wide on that. Dominic say, whoa, 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 right out of his hand. Not really a shot you could afford to be very wide on. So Greg's going to look to hit this and wiggle towards the center a little bit.
Just sneaks by.
Gets by. It's going to roll a long ways, though.
Oh.
That is
not long.
That's a pretty sweet roll, I got to tell you. Rolls just back button, but it's dead sunk under all that.
It did look like it was going to hit a little thinner, though, and roll farther.
My only concern, where that rolled to, if you hit that yellow in the right spot, I actually wonder if you can triple those reds.
Ooh.
I think maybe you can. Yeah, if you cross the face a little bit, kind of drive that red over to the left side of the button stone, might catch, you might scatter all these if you hit it just right. We'll see what Steven has here.
No lack of weight here.
He's not hitting it in the right spot.
Just going to peel their own out.
Oh, boy.
That wasn't good.
That's a big missed opportunity there. Well,
Todd's sitting 3.
Oh, Todd can now throw a center guard and be counting his lucky stars that this has turned the way it has.
Looking to get just a center guard here. They don't want it too deep.
Yeah, just halfway, I'd say, and Todd will not lock this end up, but secure it pretty decently. Leave Team Markey chasing just to score.
Sweepers think the weight's close.
Actually concerned about maybe an overcurl. Looks like it'll sit just in time. Nicely done.
Markey left with a run back.
Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot here.
No. But he's got to do something to clear that up to have a chance to get another one in shot position.
Have to open up the middle here. Drive it pretty much straight back.
It's going to be close. Oh. Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, that is unfortunate.
That is just,
And shoves it behind a guard frozen on the back there. Oh, man. And
Boy.
leaves their center just.
Leaves the center, leaves them sitting two buried under the middle, only kills one even though he hits them all. I mean, how do you hit it so perfectly and yet so wrongly at the same time? That's just not even fair. I think Todd's ideal shot now is going to be just throw the out-turn draw around everything, bury another one.
So it'll only leave Markey with a tough draw to the button.
This is well positioned. Todd just needs to be biting the top of the four here. Dominic's not going to have much of anything good to look at.
Sweepers are on it.
They got to go to get it by.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it's by.
Oh, it is by.
What do I know? Now it needs to stop. It slipped behind the tee line. Well, unfortunately, they showed Dominic the way to get in there himself.
So Dominic just needs to throw the same shot.
He'd prefer not to slip as far as Todd.
Yeah, well.
You just want to be top 4 foot.
Yeah, like you said earlier, just hit top 4. Become basically impossible to remove. Sweeping for line here.
Oh, did they wait too long?
I think they got it.
Oh, they're by.
But where's the weight?
Where's the depth, though? It's all the way down to the back one.
Still cuts.
Well, at least he gets in there to count. But
yeah.
Todd can follow him again. Definitely make sure you get in there for a shot. I think Todd would be okay if he was right down to it to guarantee that there's no chance of more than one. He's completely happy to let Markey take one this end, because then that'll give Todd the hammer tied in the last end. Todd doing his little stone spinning routine before every shot. Sits down, cleans it, spins it for about 3 seconds, I'd say, and then grabs hold, and off he goes. I haven't seen that routine change.
Gotta go for weight here and line.
I think this is wrecked.
Oh
man.
No.
Saving grace is that it's cut off that side for the draw, so Dominic's going to have to go to the other side of the sheet to make this. Let's see if they have a decent idea of the path over here. Haven't been many played this direction this end.
Just has to get a little over full 8 foot.
Yeah, full 8 plus about 3 inches, I'd say. We'll do it. Touch 4 to really be sure.
Sweeper's going for line here.
Gotta go super hard for line.
Oh, it's cutting over hard. Oh. Never mind.
Well, it's actually now
kinda just jumped it.
now it's got to settle.
Looks like a
And
good
settle
shot.
it will. And a very nice draw for 2. Markey salvages 2 out of what looked like a disaster end for a while, and he's going to reclaim the lead in this back and forth game. Going to be up 7-6. Going to hand the hammer back to Todd Burr. Todd's going to be down 1. We'll be looking to manufacture a deuce of his own for the win in the 8th end, which we'll have right after this. We're going to see how Team Markey approaches this. Some teams up 1 without in the 8th will elect to throw a guard and play aggressive, try to control the middle. He's going to elect to go in. Todd will certainly throw a couple of corner guards. We're up to 72 viewers right now. Thanks everybody for joining us. 8th end of the U.S. Open tiebreaker play-in game between Todd Burr, Dominic Markey, Sean Murray, Evan Jensen here.
Looks like we have a message from Eric Quisgard. Hello from Maui.
Oh.
Lucky you.
Is that where you are?
You'd rather be in Maui than play with your team.
Rather be in Hawaii than curling in Minnesota where it was 10 degrees today?
Oof.
I can't imagine why you'd want to do that. Center guard over curls a bit and leaves the yellow almost fully exposed, but it's not in a bad spot just the same. Todd debating whether he wants to throw the second corner or make a play in the house. Could really go either way. Knowing that that corner guard is safe for at least one more shot after this. Greg's going to come down and they're going to talk about it. So after a bit of a discussion, it's like Todd has elected to have Tom draw under the corner guard, feeling that it's a bit too early to make a play in the middle, and I kind of agree with that. He threw that corner guard for a reason. Why not use it? Tom saying that he thinks it's hot. Sweeper's not touching it. Oh, baby.
Yeah, that one doesn't look like it's going to stick around.
I got to breeze right through. Tom won't be happy with himself after that one. 5-rock rule. Dominic can't peel that corner, so he's probably just going to keep it in the middle, maybe bury another one. Set up a bit of a Christmas tree. Make it so that you can only see half of this one and then half of the one behind it. Either way, Todd's going to have to make a play around the center on his next one.
This one's looking close.
This is really diving, though.
Just going for weight now.
Just going to get a teeny little, actually it's not quite going to make the rings. Checks up just a little short.
Yeah, Todd looking at firm weight hit here to get rid of both guards.
Yeah, I think here he wouldn't mind letting the first one jam and actually rolling it behind the red. But definitely doesn't want to leave staggered guards in the middle. That's going to really complicate his chances of getting two. Might just make the nose double. It's not a bad shot.
Nope.
Not bad at all. That's his own stone out there that he can run in if he needs to. Matt Wicklund looking for another good one here. Try to get around that guard.
Line looking pretty good here.
Really warping.
This might actually overcurl a bit.
If it might bounce out the other side, maybe. Actually settles into a decent position. Dodger's going to have Hunter play the freeze. The good thing about this is if this is made properly, Todd can be sitting second, and there will be absolutely no way for Dominic to remove it. But it has to be made properly first.
Just a little tap. Not a bad spot.
Not too bad.
Does leave room to hit it out if they wanted to.
Dominic's just going to drop one in front of that and really clog up the middle. Hard to quite tell who's second. If I had to guess, I would think Markey's laying 2 at the moment. I think. It's awfully tough to be sure.
Shot looking close.
Looking to freeze right into the pocket. Steven's got a pretty good one, I think.
Ah, great shot.
Well, Markey definitely sitting 2 now.
Todd could poke that one in there.
A couple of ways to play this. You could drive the red into the situation. Probably not with any huge kind of weight.
No, just like back house weight.
Yeah, back house. Get a yellow behind the tee line as a catcher.
Yep.
Concern with that side is it's easy to group your rocks doing that. If you threw on the other side, you could still push one behind it as a catcher. You'd leave them sitting one. That's kind of what he's motioning right now. Roll your shooter away, have a couple in the rings. Going to play the first shot they talked about. Throw about backline weight. Tap the red into the yellow shot stone and roll the shooter away. The key is to roll the shooter away. Because if you don't, you're going to leave access for Dominic's team to make some sort of in-off into the middle. The backline weight, you want to hit probably about half a rock. Board weight.
Going for line. It's curling at it. How much are they going to hit?
They got to be careful.
Looks like about half.
They're
A
going to
little
hit
more
a little
than
more
half.
than half. Didn't really roll the shooter, and that's going to leave a nose double.
Markey could be sitting 4 after this. If hit right.
There's an outside chance that the shot stone might jam on that yellow that's way back there, but it's not really consequential if it does. Jam it and roll it to sit 3rd.
Not a bad outcome. Wasn't what they were looking for, but Markey's still sitting 2 under a guard.
The only concern is that they left Todd sitting in their 3rd and slightly protected. You could make an argument for maybe playing the run double here, and I think that's exactly what he's going to have Greg do.
What a shot.
Boy, he makes it. Great shot.
Oh, I had to sit 2. Does have a double opportunity himself.
I need to hit it a little bit on the broom side for Dominic. Made properly, he could even make a double and a roll behind the center possibly.
Yeah. This one's moving hard.
I don't know
Does
if
he
he's got
have
the
it?
back one.
Oh.
So now Todd's got a decision as to where he places this. It's paramount that he leave no double. You could make an argument for going under the center. You could always just draw the open side of the 8-foot too. Todd goes under the center, he probably wants to go about top 4. If he just goes like just biting top 8, he could actually potentially leave a double off of the yellow that Dominic just threw there. It's all about positioning. Todd's elected to go around the center. I think in a perfect world, he'd like to be about half top 4 foot. Oh, hang on, Tom. Team's going to have a conversation about where exactly to put this. Not a tremendous amount of room for error on this. I mean, you certainly don't want to come up short, but you also really would hate to go behind the tee line and give Dominic an outing out of a freeze. I think on this, sitting 2 has to kind of be mission number 1.
It's got enough room coming around that guard.
Yeah, the guard's not an issue. Line is not an issue.
Here comes late curl.
The question is the depth. This looks pretty perfect. That's just about
what
perfect.
a shot.
Perfect shot there. Dominic's got some cleanup to do here. Reminder that the winner of this game will take on Team Ruinen tomorrow in the non-featured quarterfinal. Our quarterfinal will be Sean Baton versus Scott Dunham, 8 a.m. Central.
So it looks like they're going to try to come around with back house weight and just try to tap it back.
Maybe tap it back and maybe roll the shooter back under the yellows somewhere. That's kind of my guess. It's really, really hard to ever get to the nose of this with enough weight to actually push it out of being second count.
This is Markey's last shot. Sweeping it out of the gate.
Gotta get by the guard.
It's
and
by.
By. Makes the hit. Makes the roll.
Sits open, though.
Did about the best he could, but it's pretty much an open hit and stick for Todd to get.
Be 3. Because of the top one.
I think maybe that red is actually 4th count. I think the yellow is 3rd. It's
I
very,
think you're
very
right.
close. But if he hits and sticks anyways, it's not going to matter. Shot to get into the quarterfinals here for Todd. More or less an open hit. Sit right there as long as he stays fully in the 8-foot. He'll get the 2 he needs to pick up the win.
Calling the sweepers off.
Right off. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's looking close.
Has to
I think he's got it.
curl. Oh! It actually rubs off of that yellow and hits it just straight. Todd gets the 2 he needs and is going to defeat Dominic Markey in a pretty good game by both teams. So Todd's team is going to qualify into the playoffs. They're in the quarters tomorrow, and they will take on Team Ruinen in one quarterfinal. And again, at 8 a.m., we will have the featured quarterfinal, Sean Baton versus Scott Dunham. And that is going to wrap up our coverage from Saturday at the U.S. Open of Curling. Evan, thanks again for joining me.
Thank you, Sean.
I guess I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
That's right, 8 a.m.
And we will see all of you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Thanks for joining.